Hello and welcome to Tiny Desk Knitting with Emma. This is my mom. She's back.
Back. We're both wearing gray. There's no color.
I'm wearing green, and I have green glasses.
I have
And you have purple glasses. All right. You have been knitting so much.
I know. I've been on a tear.
You've been on a tear.
I go through binges.
Sewing binges, knitting binges.
Yeah,
There's no sewing binge right now.
Right. There was a sewing
Full.
binge, and then there was a work binge. But then the work binge needed some knitting time, and so I started on a binge, and I've been binging ever since.
It's been like a rampage.
It has, and I've knit a bunch of different things, and some things were I wanted to give myself a bit of a challenge, something I hadn't done before. Like I did it's all like my sweaters are all packed up except for the one I just finished. So, but I did a sewn steek. Like that was a combination.
Yeah.
Knitting and
did use the sewing machine.
Yes, I used my sewing machine to sew the steek, and that's that navy blue sweater, that Briggs and Little, and I love it. It's like a big rustic cardigan, but I like that one a lot. And and then I knit a whole bunch of stuff.
You mostly have a lot of shawls here.
I have some shawls here,
recent.
but I also knit quite a few sweaters, and I also knit those slipovers.
Oh yeah. Well, you often like knit something and then you knit them both, same thing for both of your sisters.
Yeah.
So that was what happened with slipovers.
Yeah,
first.
Except I'm waiting for the yarn to go back in stock so I can knit the second one for my other sister. Hopefully my sisters are not watching this
I don't
because
think they watch this.
I don't think
One
they
of them
will.
knits. I don't think she watches this. So.
I'm sure she doesn't.
No.
Margot
okay.
might just because she's interested, but hopefully not her because that's who I've been partly.
Yeah, Margot, we'll tell you to shut your eyes if you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they watch. I don't post it anywhere anymore.
I'm quite certain they don't.
All right. Well, first you should show this shawl.
Okay.
This is you were making this when you came to visit me during Easter.
Yes, I was, and my sisters actually saw it. So
because they were also visiting. Glass houses.
Glass houses, yeah. Cali Monster. Glass
So
houses.
this one was on display
fantastic.
like 2 years ago at Must Love Yarn, which is the yarn store nearby.
I'll put this on and then I'll have some color.
And you were like, I need to knit that.
I know.
And that was like a while ago. You didn't knit it for a while.
Well, and I even got
You got the Malabrigo color
I got
shifting.
I got, what did I get? I got like the red Malabrigo that was for the,
Oh, yeah.
That was for the
sample
the
was knitted in the
windows.
red.
And I forget. No, it was a red. The red was the main color, and then this was the Malabrigo.
That was the windows.
That was the windows. And I still have the red.
You didn't use it.
No, it's too red for me.
It's too red.
It's too red for me.
This was...
And this was something you dyed, which I love.
I gave it to you because I wrapped up all those sock yarns, and you opened one of them every month,
Yeah.
and then you didn't knit socks. But that's okay, because you knitted this, except then you were only supposed to need one skein.
Yeah.
But then
I ran out. And I ran out when we were in DC, and I was like, oh no. Like I ran out.
Because I dyed it myself. It's like, where are you going to
I was
get
probably
another one?
Here. Like this is the end of it here. So I was probably here when I ran out, and you're like, oh, I have another one. I have another one of these.
It was in my house.
Yeah, and she
So
knew
I sent
exactly
it.
where it was. So as soon as she got back to Baltimore, she sent it to me that very day. She found it immediately.
Yep. And
I
then you
like this
finished it.
shawl for 100 different reasons, but one of them is like it's got this great like built-in I-cord edge.
It's like a garter stitch I-cord. That's so different.
It's so great. I love it, and it gives it like this really great like bound finish. Yeah, I really love it. I think it's brilliant.
You get a lot of compliments on it.
Every time I wear it, people are like, "Oh my god, that smells." Well, why wouldn't you say that? Like,
It's pretty
look at
cool.
this. Like,
It's pretty
so
cool.
gorgeous. Plus, it's like asymmetrical, and I find it's very easy to wear because it's asymmetrical. Because I can do this wrap, and it's
tie
not
it.
like this huge because I've got this nice long tail here, and so I can just wrap it around. And it's a little warm for this right now, but in the winter,
warm
this is a great way to wear this scarf, and I can kind of wear it like this.
And you can put it under your coat.
I put it with my coat. I wear it inside. I really, really like it, and I get tons of compliments. So yeah, I really, really love this.
So you decided to make 2 more.
Yep. So I did finish. Yeah, isn't it just so gorgeous?
So cool.
So this one has a lot of contrast, and It's great. It's like surprising, the ochre with the. So I had more of the Malabrigo, and so then I made this one. It's not blocked
Not yet.
It's done.
It's kind of similar. It's like low
it's similar, but
contrast.
it's much lower contrast. So it's this gorgeous. It's called Gary Cooper. It's
That's from Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah, and it's really gorgeous. And but it's also, you can see like the light goes through it. It's lighter. Like this is a much lighter scarf than the other one in terms of.
Is this a
weight.
bear paw sock?
Yes.
Oh, it's like the yak merino.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. And it's just such a great color. And I wanted to do low contrast. So I used the same Malabrigo for the windows. And I think it looks gorgeous. I mean, it's not blocked. It'll look better when it's blocked.
Yeah.
Also has a lot of ends.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah. No, this one, and now I'm making another one that's kind of a charcoaly brown main color. No, it's in the chair.
Oh, okay.
But I've just started.
Oh, you didn't. It doesn't have any panes on it yet.
It has one.
Oh,
It has the
pain?
beginning
Oh,
of
it
a
does.
pane, yeah. And it's kind of a charcoaly brown yak.
Are you using the same
And I'm using,
the same one?
I'm
it's
using a different Malabrigo. It's kind of a,
More blue.
it's got a lot of blue. It's mostly blue. And I'll go get it.
Which Malabrigo line is it? Do you know? Sock?
Yes. Ultimate sock?
Oh, the one with the nylon. Malabrigo sock, the one that they had for a long time. It was 100% wool, but it was high twist. So you could make socks. I made socks with it once in a purple color. But now they make another sock yarn, which actually has nylon, so that you can...
I think this one does not have nylon. I don't remember.
There's a label of it on my
I should
bedroom.
also show off my knitting bowl that my
Oh,
friend
Patty made this?
Yes, my friend Patty
Patty
made this.
made me a knitting bowl once, but it broke because I was moving, which was sad.
It's excellent. Yeah, so these are the, oh, jeez.
Somebody gave me a knitting bowl recently, actually, that they got in Baltimore.
Oh.
And I sometimes use it.
So see, it's this kind of charcoaly brown, and you can see the blue.
Oh, you can see it on the needle.
You can see it much better on the other side. It's like this kind of blue.
Like
It's also very, there it is.
Do you know what colorway it is?
No. They have funny names.
Yeah,
don't
they're
remember
mostly in
them.
Spanish.
And then this is the yak. So it's very low contrast, but it's enough that you can see. I think the blue looks really, really nice.
Is this leftover from Carrie's sweater?
It's the same yarn, but I ordered this ball
That's
separately.
separate. Okay.
Yeah, it's Greenwoods. They do yak.
The yak yarn is like I discovered it when
love
I
it.
got that yarn sent to me for the year from Farmer's Daughters. I signed up for the sock squad, so that, and they would send you. There was 3 different bases, and they would rotate through them. And one of the bases was the yak sock, and I was like, "Wow, this is really nice." It's
I love yak.
That's how we
I made the
discovered it.
Cloudsley. That was the Cloudsley
sweater, the
cap
the
sleeve one I made
t-shirt.
for Carrie. Yeah, it's like a little t-shirt. That is a great pattern. Oh
I
my
made
gosh,
that
that's a great pattern.
sweater, but the arms weren't long enough, so then I took them out. Or no, yeah, I took out the ribbing to make more, and then I accidentally used a different yarn.
Uh-oh.
It was the exact same color to lengthen the sleeves, and I realized that at some point. I was like, oh my gosh! And so then it's still sitting in my room.
It can just be a t-shirt though.
I know I could do that, but it has sleeves. It just needs this much more. I just need to take it. I just need to take out the bit that was.
Well, I made it as a t-shirt, which was easy because
Really
it's
nice.
it's more almost like a shell.
It's actually a good idea. Maybe I should just rip out the sleeves and just finish it as a t-shirt.
Beautiful as a t-shirt.
Why not? I would probably wear it all the time. It was BFL. I got it at Maryland Sheep and Wool. It was really nice.
It's a very fun sweater to knit. I really, really enjoyed the kind of, looks like
The little tiny bee.
bird legs, like
Oh,
feet.
on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Really, a panel on the back. It has this kind of bird foot.
Everything that we're discussing is linked in the description box, by the way, in case you want to see it.
Yeah.
Because we don't actually have a version of the Cloudsley to show you.
No, because I gave it to my sister.
Mine is not here. It's at my house.
Isabel Kramer, Cloudsley. Yeah. That one I made for my sister. She knew I was making it. She bought the yarn.
got the yarn.
She bought the yarn.
Well, you and Carrie are obsessed with this Bill Kramer.
That was
right
before,
now.
that was before she
Carrie-
started
yeah,
knitting.
now Carrie's
Now
knitting.
she can knit, so she doesn't need me to knit for her anymore, even though I still make her stuff.
I gave her some hand spun in March and she was so excited.
Yes,
was nice.
She's very excited about yarn and everything, even though she's still quite slow because she has many other things in her life. So this was the other thing I made.
This is the first time you knitted with beads.
Yeah, so
never
it's
knitted with
a
beads.
shawl. My friend Hillary gave me this kit. It's a Lauren Nelkin kit, and yeah, there's the beads, and also I love the way the bind off beads.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Like, can you see? Yeah, isn't that cool? And so yeah, so it's
some weight.
And you can't. There's not. This is the other side. A few of the beads show through, but they're meant to just sit on top of this side. And there was actually supposed to be a kind of pattern in the way they did the beads, but I just ignored it and did kind of like just random
Screw
stuff.
it.
Anyway, so this is just a straight up triangle shawl.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
really, the shawl itself was extremely easy to make, and it's made
nice
with
color.
Leading Men.
Leading Men Fiber Arts.
Showstopper. Yeah.
I got a scan of theirs from, I don't know, I think I got it online or something from some website, and I showed it to you. Maybe I gave you the socks. I think I gave you the socks. It was like grayish with like kind of like grape speckles. I think it had contrasting heels and toes, but I'm not sure. This is like 3 years ago.
Okay.
And you were like, "Where did you get this yarn?" And
Yes.
I told you. That's why.
Yeah, no, I like it. I made another shawl.
Oh, here comes Hobbs.
Yeah, here comes
Oh, he
Hobbs.
might make an appearance.
He might bark. I think he hears a truck, like a mail truck. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there he goes.
See if I can get him. He might be pissed, but it's okay.
Hobbsy.
But the beads are cool. Monica uses beads. Hey, come here.
Yeah, the beads are fun. And they were picky, but it was very fun. And actually, after knitting a really, really simple, just stockinette scarf, there he is. Hello.
He's ready for his close-up.
Yeah. Hi, how are you? Good morning. Hello. Do you want to put your arm here?
Hobbs is very good. He does not eat any yarn.
No, he doesn't eat. He doesn't get into it at all.
He was interested a little bit in the raw fleece that I was washing.
Yeah.
He wanted to
Well,
sniff
it was
it.
stinky.
But he didn't like try to pee on it or anything.
No,
he just
no,
wanted to sniff.
No, he just wanted to sniff.
He's curious.
Yeah.
Curious Hobbs.
I've never knit you anything. We've never knit you anything.
I don't think he would like it.
He would hate it.
Thought about it, but I'm like, he would probably not enjoy it. He doesn't like his hoodie, his security hoodie.
Yes, he has a hoodie. He does hate the hoodie. Yeah.
He looks really cute though. It's like a little black hoodie that says security.
Yeah.
Is that right, bud?
Are you thinking about your hoodie? Are you thinking about your hoodie? Yeah.
Hobbs is a Cairn Terrier.
Yeah.
If you were wondering. He doesn't really like to be held, but he's so
putting
tolerant.
up with it, right? He's extremely tolerant at the moment.
He's tolerant.
But he does just yawny because he doesn't like it. Do you like it when somebody picks you up?
He doesn't mind it when Ian does it.
He has very expressive ears, so sometimes when you talk to him, like, Hobbs, are there chippies outside? Oh. He communicates with his ears.
He's just...
Is that right? Hey, puppy dog.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
He is. Anyway, knitting with beads is sort of like, I was confused by it, but then I realized that you have to string the beads onto the yarn before you start knitting.
Yeah, that's part of the pickiness of it. And you have to and you need to count them because, although you don't really, because you could just have way more beads than you need on there.
Yeah,
and I
that's
should have
true.
done that because I ran out of beads because I was trying to do the count exactly. And so but they're tiny, they're little glass beads. They're gorgeous. But yeah, so she told you, string on 457 beads or whatever
There's
it was.
that many beads in there?
Oh yeah. There's
my
hundreds
gosh.
of beads in here. So I did that, but you use these dental floss, like dental flosser things, the kind you would use if you had braces or something, and that's how you string the beads on, and also the floss. There's floss that just has, I think it's for braces that has like the stiff ends, right? The rigid ends. And that's how you string it on. And then there's another kind of flosser thing that you use. There were two different ways of putting the beads on. So the beads in the scarf itself were the ones I strung on. But these ones on the edge, you string on while you're knitting. So there's a way to get the bead on at that moment. And I can't remember how to do it. I'd have to watch the video again. But I liked that because you didn't have to string them on. You just did them one at a time, but it's only for edging.
Hobbs is interested in the shawl.
What do you think? You want to sniff? Smell good? Yeah.
Yeah.
He watched me make it.
Hobbs is very good. He just watches.
Yeah.
He's not too curious.
What do you think? What do you think? You're just hanging out, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's being extremely patient this morning. I can't believe. He seems kind of chill. Are you chill? Are you? Are you looking
He used
at me?
to be less chill.
Are we gonna go for a walk soon? We.
And then you have one more thing.
We're
We're mostly going to talk about this on the Woolly Thistle Shopcast, but you can show them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to watch the Woolly Thistle Shopcast if you want to know more about it.
This is a sweater that I made. See, I also make sweaters. Yeah, so this is, isn't that nice? I'll get up close so they can kind of see. You can't really get a full feel for it. And then I put a little stripe at the bottom of the cuff just as a little thing. So this is an Isabel Kramer. It's a new one. I think that she published maybe in May or April, called Nazarene. And you can do it, you can fill in all of the color work or you can leave it open. And cool. I did a combo. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I decided
choose your own adventure.
I decided to do a combo because I really liked the unfilled one, but then I felt like it needed a little something. So
yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So that was my take on it. And I used for the main color, I used Tuca wool, not the sock, the fingering Tuca wool. That's my favorite thing to knit. I love Tuca wool. This is my third Tuca wool sweater. They're all quite different. I have, and it's really lovely. It's Finnish wool, and you can get it at the Woolly Thistle, and it's one of the few places you can get it, and it's really fantastic. And it blooms. It's very woolly, but it gets softer and softer and softer, and it kind of felts a little bit as you wear it. So like really that goldenrod kind of sweater I have is quite felted, and it's really, I love it.
Yeah.
I always get a lot of comments on it because it just knits up really nice. And then I had this, I had a couple of skeins of this, which is Woolfolk, tinned or tined, Tynd, and it's a super luxury, like merino. It's so gorgeous. It's not super wash. It's just really luxurious, and I wish you could feel it because it feels like the softest cashmere. It's so amazing. And the Tuca wool is not soft. It's very woolly and kind of scratchy. So
interesting, they go together.
Yeah, so I thought I would do I said to Emma, it's like salty and sweet. So you can sort of tell the difference, but this is super soft and this is not. And they worked really, really well together. And that's one of the reasons why I put the Woolfolk at the bottom of the cuff, because it's so soft that I wanted it to be the next on my hand. So I'm really, really happy with it. This was an amazing pattern. I mean, all of Isabel's patterns are incredible. They are perfect for one thing, and they also fit really, really well. She has a lot of great. So one of the things that I like about this pattern is, usually when you do a yoke sweater, you just yoke it. The yoke goes right to the sleeve, but she didn't want a deep yoke on this, so she put some raglan increases in there.
There you go.
It's not as neat at the armholes I would have liked, but anyway, there's these raglan increases in there. So you get like this yoke that doesn't, it's not super deep. And I like that. I like my deep yoke sweaters, but I also really like this one. So she just elegant touches. She's amazing. Plus it's got some really nice, again, unlike most of the yoke sweaters I've made, it has some quite a bit of short row shaping in it. So she kind of hid the short row shaping up at the neckline at the back, and then right after the yoke, because the yoke's not so deep, she put some short
it's a nice
rows
placement,
in,
short
so it
rows.
fits really. This sweater fits really, really well.
All those Belcreme patterns fit really well.
They all fit great. They all do, except for the oldest that I
Well,
made.
that was because
on
it's
the
too big.
wrong
Because mine
gauge.
was really good. Yours
No.
was too big.
I love that sweater. That's the other Tuca wool one that I
yeah.
wear all the
It's
time,
like
and
yellow.
I love it. But it's kind of a bat wing, and I shortened it so it's like a boxy little bat wing, and everybody thinks it's the coolest pattern ever, and it's just like a badly gauged.
Oops, I knit
All
it
this.
on two big
Yeah,
needles.
because the raglan came down to here, and then I made it to be the normal length. Like I gave it 13.5 inches after the raglan. It came down to like well below my hips, and it just looked horrible. It looked like I was wearing my husband's sweater that might not even have fit him. And so, yeah. But then I was like, well, I'll just take it up. So I took it up about, I don't know, maybe like
A lot.
4 or 5 inches, a lot.
It's very fashionable now.
And now it's the best. It just looks like a batwing, boxy, look great with my high-waisted pants. I love that. I love that sweater. It was a mistake.
All right, Hobbs. I'm gonna
He's
let
done.
you go.
He's done.
You've been a very good boy.
He
Give
has
you
been.
a treat somewhere.
The next thing I'm gonna make with this. This is Magpie Nest. Nest worsted. I have some Nest sport weight as well, but I have this Nest worsted, and I'm gonna make the Big Love sweater, which is a kind of like a jacket. It's a cardigan jacket, but this will be great, and it's got this like 3x1 or 2x1 ribbing. The whole thing is just fantastic. It's a really great pattern, and we were in
Frederick.
Yeah, we're visiting Emma, and we were in Frederick at Magpie, because you have to do that, and
It's law.
it's the law, and you can't leave Magpie without having spent a load of dough. But they had the sweater as a sample, and it was like kind of like a dark
gray?
maroon. No,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a maroon. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful color, and I tried it on, and it fit like it was made for me. It was so beautiful, and I don't know. I hope that I can get this one to fit the same way, but I just fell in love with it. That very sweater made with this very yarn, and they had seconds. This one, I think it's like a cognac color. I don't know what the name
really
of it
nice.
is, but it's gorgeous. Look at all the colors in it. It's just
Very
incredible.
tonal.
Yeah, and it was my birthday,
That's right. I got it for your birthday.
and so she bought it for me for my birthday. Five balls,
I think
big
you
balls
take 5. It's
of this
worsted.
beautiful stuff, and yeah, I love it because it's got like almost like a orange in it, and a gold and a gray and a green. It's gonna be amazing. I knitted up a swatch which I then frogged, but it was so beautiful. Like it shimmered. It had this beautiful kind of, I don't know. It was like it glowed.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was beautiful. So I can't, that one will go fast because it's worsted, and it's on these big 6s, I think.
I love how that's a big needle.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
I don't knit on anything bigger than like an 8
I know,
usually.
no, because I've been knitting these shawls. They're on like 3s or 4s, plus the Tuca wool one was on 3s.
Yeah, I went to Mark and Sarah's house the other day, and I to give Mark his Guernsey, and
It fits.
yeah, it does fit. It was good. He asked me, he was like, do you think it, because I was like, I can lengthen it if you want. He's a very long torso. And he was like, do you think it needs to be longer? And I was like, I know it's your sweater. You tell me. But because Sarah knits, I just said, if you want it to be longer, just Sarah will soak it in water and just tuck it.
Yeah.
But that was fine. But yeah, then I think it was, I sent them a picture of it while I was working on it, and Sarah was like, oh my gosh, those are like the smallest needles I've ever seen. And I was like, no, that's just normal size.
Yeah.
She was shocked.
Well, Anna, our friend Anna, is knitting this really beautiful open cardigan. It's not going to have buttons on it. It's like, and it's kind of got rounded edges. It's really beautiful. Out of, I can't remember what it is. It's a merino, but it's a very, very, very fine merino. And it's a sort of orangey, gorgeous orange, and she's making it on 1s.
Wow, I've never knit this. I've knit 1.5s for fair.
It doesn't look like a hand knit. Like I said, when you're done with this, it's gonna look like an Italian,
Well,
like an
that's what
Italian.
Anna would wear.
Yeah. Except it's it's probably too small for her. She realized after she got going on it, so it's probably going to go to her daughter, which is a shame because it is by far the most beautiful thing she's ever knit. It's gorgeous. But if you look at it, you would never know that it was a hand knit because it's these tiny, tiny, tiny stitches. It looks, like a $500 Italian sweater. It's gorgeous.
This is my current whip on tiny needles.
Oh.
This is my Fair Isle sweater.
Oh, it's an all over Fair Isle. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I started this.
I love the orange pop. I love it.
Thank you. I started this the day of the Woolly Thistle vest cow because I needed some accountability.
Is it a vest?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to put sleeves on it. But it's going to be a V-neck all over Fair Isle.
God, it's beautiful.
And I talked about this so much when I got this yarn. Some of it came from England because the colors were too hard to find. I think nobody had them.
The colors are brilliant. There's totally
so
brilliant.
Many colors.
No, I know. It's just absolutely brilliant colors. The orange is amazing.
Yeah.
That's a new pop color for you because you have the green, you have the red.
I used to use that bright pink.
The bright pink.
Is pumpkin.
Oh, I love
Jameson's Shetland Spindrift. So some of this is Jameson's Shetland Spindrift. Most of it is Shetland Spindrift in a variety of colors. I think there's like 12 colors total in this. And then a couple of Jameson and Smith 2-ply.
What's this mane? That's lovely.
That's Jameson Smith 2-ply and 1280 mix. Somebody asked me.
That's beautiful.
Because I showed the band last time, I think. Somebody asked me what the color was, and it's 1280 from Jameson Smith.
Wow.
And then there's one of these colors that's BC Biogarn Shetland that I had. One ball and like iceberg. I don't have a Ravelry page.
Nice.
I'll make a Ravelry page for this because people are going to want to know. Oh, and these two are also Jameson Smith.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
These two, they're both, I don't know what colors they are. I think this one's 65.
Oh, this is the teal.
Yeah, there's 3 teals.
There's so many teals.
I know. There's a lot of colors.
It's so complicated.
I designed it with chart books. Yeah, and
she's amazing with color. I mean, the color work is amazing, but the color that she does, I'm always amazed by your choices because they're totally your own choices. It's like you just put them together.
Yep. So that's
a beauty.
That's one thing. I only brought a couple things home. I brought a t-shirt thing home, but I haven't been working on it. And then oh yeah, you sewed this and you got it to
This is from the sewing binge.
And they match.
Yeah, this was an accident that I did not even realize I was doing when I sewed it. This is the best thing I've ever made, and it has these nice leather touches, including these like a leather. I was in some sort of brilliant.
Yeah. Well, everyone in the world on this channel would buy them if you started an Etsy store. So
I know, but I'm not gonna do it.
No.
Because I'm a binger and I wouldn't be good for it. But I do love these, and I also waxed this canvas with my own beeswax.
That's the most Vermont
No,
thing.
this is my most favorite thing I've ever made. I love
It's
this
really good.
It's perfect size.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's the perfect size for me. It's got the handle. I like it. I put a little leather thing on. I was
Very professional.
I was in a zone when I made this one. I was visiting my parents, and my mom had a bag that was looked just like this.
Did you make up the pattern?
Yeah, and she had a notebook and stuff in it that she has her things, and it was a small version of this, and I was like, oh, I love that look of that bag. So I just drew some pictures and took some measurements and decided that I wanted to make it a little bigger, and then I came home and I made that, and I was in the zone.
You were in the zone.
I gotta go because I gotta walk Hobbs.
I have to stop the video anyway to show the video of me opening my sock yarn. So it's now June and I have socks in here, but you can't see them until you watch the video of me opening the yarn. So
socks are great.
Enjoy. Hello everyone. It's June 1st. And I've just gotten home from like a whole morning of running. I went, there was a Baltimore 10-miler this morning, like a race up in like the northern part of Baltimore. This like, it starts in this big park and then it goes like along just like this long road, and then it's like an out and back. And one of my friends was running it, and so the like run club that she's part of that I go to sometimes, they're having a spectating party. So I ran up there, which was like 4.5 miles from my house, and it was all uphill, of course. And I never run on hills because I live near the harbor in Baltimore, so I just run along the harbor because it's so nice. So I only usually run on hills if I go on a trail run. So that was really hard because I ran up the hills at like 6:45 this morning, watched the race, ran to my friend's car with my other friend to her car. We drove to the finish line, like hung out at the finish line party, drove to a restaurant. We all had like breakfast sandwiches, and then I ran home from there. So I got like 8 miles of running in. I almost ran the 10 miler, just not 10, like the course of the 10 miler, but I did not quite manage 10 miles. But I did remember that I have to do this. That's why I'm wearing, oh, you can't see it. I'm wearing a Charm City Run shirt. I love this shirt because on the back, this is so cool. It says run, but the U is a crab, which is like so Baltimore, and then it's like filled in with the Maryland flag. So I love this. And oh, someone asked last time about these 3 green cakes of yarn and like if I was gonna talk about them. This is I spun this. I talked about it like a few months ago. This is John Arbon Appledore in 2 different colors, Spicy Pippin and Hangy Down. And I started knitting a top with it, and then I pulled it out because the gauge was too loose. And I decided what to do with it. Actually, this is involved too. So I'm gonna make a Novelli tee by Caitlin Hunter, but I'm gonna do it top down raglan style because I don't like the way that the top, I don't know, I don't like that drop sleeve look, and I don't want to knit back and forth the top, and I like the way a raglan looks. So I'm just gonna I was gonna do a long sleeve, like a whole sweater, but the gauge was too loose at like 20 stitches over 4 inches with it. So I was like, oh, this needs to be at like 24 stitches over 4 inches. I definitely have enough for a t-shirt. I'll have leftovers. It'll be really interesting to see how the sock yarn plays with the Appledore. I don't know. This is just a sock yarn from like January that has the green like speckles, and so I thought it'd be really fun in the Novelli color work at the bottom. I will link that pattern in the show notes. If I remember, sometimes I like I'm recording this on a Saturday. It's June 1st is a Saturday, and I will then be like recording an episode sometime next week probably, and yeah, I hope that I remember. Because sometimes I don't watch back this part of the episode, but then I don't know. Someone just yell at me in the show notes if I haven't linked that pattern. Yeah, okay. June. It's June time. If you are new since May, I guess I think I explained this every month. On my birthday last year, I had a bunch of friends over, and 2 of them are big knitters, or one is like a fiber arts person. Her name's Sarah, and then Monica, who's a big knitter. And they like led the charge. And I said, I took my whole sack of sock yarn downstairs. I had like 50 to 60 skeins of sock yarn. I dye a lot of it myself, and that's why I had that much. And I said, wrap these up. Like, I want a package of sock yarn to knit a pair of socks for every month of the year. Here's some wrapping paper, scissors, and tape. And a Sharpie to label. So June, I think Sarah probably wrote the months. Maybe Monica did. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's why it's like sort of Nordic paper. I don't know. But so they wrapped it up. Monica's like very adamant that like she thought about each month very systematically. I did finish the May socks. I was gonna finish them on was it 2 o'clock already? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm just completely lost my train of thought. I was gonna finish them on like Wednesday, but I was at the office on Wednesday, and I took the bag out of my backpack and I like put it somewhere in my office that I didn't think that I needed to grab before I came home. So I couldn't, and then I didn't go in. I don't go in on Thursdays usually, so I didn't go into work on Thursday, and so I couldn't finish until Friday, but I did finish them last night. I almost didn't even close the toe, but then I was like, I'm gonna close the toe. Anyway, this has been almost 5 minutes and I haven't even opened this. So here we go. What's in here? I'm so excited. Okay, it's a skein and a cape. Wow. That is so random. I do love this. Oh yeah, it kind of goes. There's some little teal. This is actually really cute. I know what this is. I dyed this. This is sock yarn. They're both sock yarn. This is This is from a dyer in Baltimore called Tempting You Yarns. That she owns a store called, her name is Amanda, and she owns a store called, I'm clearly depleted because I've run a lot today and I probably haven't like eaten enough food. What's it called? It's not Lovely Yarns, that's in Hampton. Clover Hill Yarns. It's really close to where I work. And she's great. And she dyed, this is just 75-25 You So Perfect sock in the colorway Sand Swept. I think I initially got this to make Lizzie Bennett socks, but then I didn't make the Lizzie Bennett socks. I don't think I'd even designed the Lizzie Bennett socks when I bought this. This is cool though. I can envision, I guess I'll probably do heels, toes, and cuffs with this blue. I feel like it should be like a little tiny lace pattern that's like really simple, but kind of like, it's like sand swept. I'm thinking of like a beach with like pebbles on it, like a little like lacy, I don't know, like texture moment. That would be really cute. Yeah, this is like funky. It's a good, I remember like hearing them. I didn't watch, obviously I didn't watch them do it, but I was like sitting on the stairs so I could like hear them being like, ooh, this is gonna be a weird combination for her. And sometimes I'll like text Monica the picture and she'll be like, I didn't like this one. Like that one, I let Sarah choose that one or something. Or like maybe Jordan chose, I don't know. She's my roommate, Jordan, is a graphic designer. So I don't know, but I'm excited about this. I've been meaning to use this yarn. This is why I do this. I'm gonna make them do this next year too, because it's an excuse to use, or I'll just pick like I'll just on the first of the month I'll just go through and this one is sock yarn. I'll just go through and be like this. Anyway, I'm excited. So thanks for watching. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching me open a package of sock yarn. I was excited about this month's sock yarn. I remember getting this, as I said, at the Catonsville yarn store, thinking it would be nice for Elizabeth Bennett socks, and then I never made Lizzie Bennett socks with this yarn. I do have two samples of the one socks I designed based on Lizzie Bennett, but they're not knitted in this yarn. Anyway, it's June 11th because I missed a week, and I'm actually recording this on a Tuesday, and so I have knitted an entire sock and a little bit of the second one. So the blue, I thought was kind of obviously punchy, so I wanted to use it not in a super all-consuming way, where it was more useful, and like as I thought it'd be more useful as an actual just like contrast in certain places. So I did the cuff, like I cast it on in this blue, but I only did like 3 or 4 rounds in it. And then I did an all over lace. This is a little different because this was a 6 stitch repeat. I guess I could have like separated them with purl stitches, but I didn't. Anyway, to make it 8. I just didn't even think of that. Whatever. So there's only 60 stitches in the sock. I was gonna do 66, but then I realized that the front and the back would be asymmetrical if I did that. I'd have to split one of the repeats across the 2, which would have been okay, sort of, but actually would have been hard because there's a central double decrease in the middle of the row, so, or the repeat, so that wouldn't have really worked out. But anyway, I did do the heel in this teal color, and then I did this little stripe before I did the toe, so you can see the bottom of the sock is just plain knit. This is what I tend to do if I have a lace pattern that's all over. I tend to just only continue it on the front, and then the bottom will be plain stockinette. So I have a little marker there just marking how many repeats I've done after the heel turn. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I think it looks good, and I really like the way it looks in stockinette with all the speckles and the pooling. So this is fun. And then sock number 2, I started yesterday. So yeah, I don't know, I've been home for like the last week, and I got kind of motivated to like write some patterns. And so I decided that first of all, I figured out how to just like do the layout for the socks myself, because I did Natalie Cowell layout myself because I was like, well, this is just like 2 pages and Jordan has just been like really busy with work, and so I didn't want her to like have more to do for me unpaid. So so I just did the layout in Canva and actually worked out pretty well. So that Natalie Cowell was being sold through the Woolly Thistle for like a month. They had kits. Now it's on Ravelry. I forgot to mention that in my last episode, and now I don't have it to show you, but yeah, there's a link up there somewhere where you can purchase the pattern on Ravelry if you want to buy it. A lot of people have already seen it there because I posted it on Instagram, but yeah, anyway, so I decided that I'm doing my sock releases. I'm going to try to do 1 release a month starting with July. So ideally on the 1st of every month going forward until I run out of patterns, which could be a while, I'll have new socks for you. So you'll see the Anne Elliot socks that I designed based on the main character from Jane Austen's Persuasion next on July 1st. So I actually have 3 samples of those. This is like back in 2022 when I was designing my Jane Austen socks. I had so many samples of each one. So there will be a few patterns where there's like a bunch of samples, and then yeah, and then there will be like from there on there will just be like probably 1, because I don't really feel like making more than that. Yeah, and I used to do test knits, but I could never like get myself together to kind of like send the patterns out with any kind of regularity, and then I just like didn't really release any patterns, so it didn't really make any sense to keep doing that. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that, but like, you know, like the first 5 people or something for each, maybe we'll see, for each sock. Like I'll say you can test knit, but just to like make it a less insane thing, because then I realized I was just giving out free patterns to a bunch of people, and they probably were all knitting them. I just like I didn't have like any place where people could post. I have rad Ravelry groups, but sorry for that flickering light, but I didn't really take time to like moderate them or like message people and track them down to be like, please post these when I posted the patterns. So yeah, that doesn't really work for me, but yeah, you can buy the patterns when they get released on Ravelry once a month. So you can look for that, and then yeah, that'll be fun. You know, if you want to challenge yourself to knit a pair of socks every month, there will be a lot of diversity. Most of them are like, some of them are texture, some of them have lace, some of them have like a lace panel, some of them have all over lace. So it'll be very different every month, and then there will be a few kind of more vanilla ones. And yeah, I should, because socks, once you have just the base pattern in the thing, all you really have to do is swap out colors, photos, and charts. And so that's like really easy for me to just like continue to just write new sock patterns all the time, just because all you have to do is swap out a few charts pretty much and change a few colors and take some pictures. So that makes things really easy for me. So it just makes it easy for me to release these socks, and people have frequently expressed interest in knitting them, so I'm happy to do that. So yeah, and they'll have suggestions. I'll have Woolly Thistle yarn suggestions for you, as well as whatever I use in my samples. Sorry, I'm just inspecting my heel flap. So yeah, I'm really pleased with these. And I've been having a good time with the yarn that my friends wrapped up for me. So my once a month socks that I design, it's been a really good time. Yeah, I might not do the element of surprise next year, just kind of choose on the first of the month, you know, what I'm feeling like knitting. But we'll see. That I've realized that if I plan too much in advance, I get too into it. And then the nice thing about the rule that I have now is that I open the thing, and then on the same day I have to cast on the socks. So I have like 1 hour to come up with a pattern and cast it on, and then it's off to the races. And I've only changed my mind once so far this year. I had I think it was in March, I did the like mauve yak sock that I had that was like mohair with it, and I changed my mind with that one. I tried to do a texture pattern and it just was too fiddly, you couldn't see it, so I ripped it out and I did something really vanilla with just like some stripes with that mohair, and that was actually really fun. So yeah, I'm getting more, branching out a little bit more. I'm doing some more easier things, because you know what, why make life hard when you can have a pair of socks that looks nice, that all it is stockinette. So that'll be fun. Maybe we'll do some more color work and later in this year if there are some different skeins of yarn that demand color work. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, otherwise I have spent a lot of time at home reading because I'm like out of my normal routine and just don't have as much to go do. So I finished a bunch of books that were, well, I planned to finish 3 and then I got rid of the third. I was like, I don't really want to read this book anymore. But I brought home some books that I was like, there's like a third left of this or a quarter left. So I finished Secret History, which I did not like. I don't dislike the stories that Donna Tartt tells. I just think that you could cut half of it and the story would be better. She's very self-indulgent, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on, and it just seems to be like no point. What I will say that I think she does well is she writes mostly from adolescent points of view, and I think that adolescents tend to obsess over things. And so they do that in these books that are 350 pages too long. I thought the same thing about The Goldfinch, but it was a good story. Until the like fun part though, like that was more fun. And then like the exciting, I don't want to say fun part because it's a murder. Until then it's kind of like you want to keep going. And then after that it got really, I don't know, just didn't love it. And then the next book I finished was Robertson Davies' What's Bred in the Bone. This is the second book in a trilogy. Robertson Davies he's dead, a Canadian author from Toronto, and so I feel a sense of camaraderie with him for that reason. And this trilogy, I had read the first and third books of this trilogy because they took place at U of T, where I went to college. And then this one is a biography of somebody, like one of the characters within this story, and he doesn't spend very much time in Toronto, so I had never read this, but actually ended up really liking the last, like, I guess 150 pages, which I hadn't read yet, and it was good. It was about like learning this guy who learns how to paint in the style of like Renaissance masters, but it's like the 1970s, and no, it's not, it's like the 1940s and 50s because the World War II is happening. And yeah, so it's kind of like interesting because you think about people doing, you know, historical performance practice with music and stuff, same kind of thing, maybe not the exact same thing, but anyway, I really liked this book. And if you've never read Robertson Davies, I recommend it. You should. They're pretty funny. The most famous book is Fifth Business, which is the first book in one of the trilogies. So if you like Fifth Business, there's 2 more in the same trilogy you could read. But yeah, I'm a huge fan. This is my favorite trilogy, the Toronto one. So the first one is called The Rebel Angels, which is really good. It takes place at a college at University of Toronto that's named something that's not real, but it is actually it's just they changed the name of Trinity College, which is where I went. So that one is really funny, and it's a little bit irreverent. So take that with a grain of salt if you want to read this trilogy. And then this morning I read this. It was really good. It was really short. Small Things Like These. Yeah, it was really it's nice and refreshing after Donna Tartt, who I thought was too long. But this was very short. It took me like an hour to read this, and it was really thought-provoking. So I recommend this. And I have been watching a lot of sports because hockey and basketball are on TV. And I started watching Hacks, which is a show on HBO Max, which is really funny. It's Jean Smart. Is that her name? Is the main character? Yeah. Yeah, she's really good. Anyway, I've been enjoying that. So yeah, it's been a great trip here. Nice and quiet. Not too hot. Washed a fleece. I washed Archie on Sunday. And there's 2 giant tubs of lanolin filled water to water the garden. I just want to make sure, like, people here have washed fleece. If it has soap in it, it's probably fine to put the soap to go in the garden, but I thought that I should crowdsource that and make sure that everybody thought that was fine, because I don't want to dump the water down the drain because it's full of lanolin. But I think it's okay if you put it in the garden, right? Even if there's soap. Anyway, please weigh in if you have an opinion. But yeah, it's been pretty wet the last few days, so hopefully we'll get dry the next day or 2 and I can do some combing. And then be spinning it. I did spin, I don't know if I showed, I think I showed the nests of Archie that I was combing. It's a lot easier to comb than the Lincoln Pimp Daddy sheep. So that's fun. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good time. But yeah, that's pretty much all for now. So thank you for watching. This has been Tiny Desk Knitting with Emma. Bye.